Hi, Pagan Shooter here. I wanted to take some time to discuss self-defense ammo with you. As you can see here on the table, I have a little bit of assortment of magazines. Now, each one is filled with a different kind of ammo, either by caliber or by type, meaning hollow point, defensive, semi-penetration, uh, frangible. They're all separated by the type of ammo they are. Now, with some guns, I will carry, if I have an extra magazine or if I'm carrying it, I'll carry other magazines filled with another type of ammo. Like with my 40, I carry three different types of ammo. So, what are the different types of self-defense ammo? Well, first off, we have frangible. Now, if you see, this is a frangible round. This is what I carry in my 380. The characteristics of this is it is a very fast-moving bullet. The bullet is completely non-lead. There is no lead in this bullet whatsoever. It is made by Dynamic Research Technology, DRT. And essentially, what this does is once it hits its target, it dumps all of its energy within the first few inches. It will pass through barriers, but very small barriers. It dumps all of its energy within the first few inches and then literally breaks up into very small powdery pieces. In fact, this bullet, if you look down inside, looks like a hollow point. That's actually powder that's been pressed into a copper jacket. So this literally, once it hits its target, just breaks up into pieces and causes a huge amount of damage within those few inches, but then it ceases to penetrate. Now, some people will say, oh, well, it doesn't penetrate enough. Well, my point is not to kill somebody. My point is to cause enough trauma to stop them. I don't want to kill anybody. I want to stop the threat. That's my point. Now, if I have to, I will, but that's beside the point. So that's what frangible is. Frangible is very low recoil, so you're able to get second follow-up shots very quickly. It's very fast-moving bullets. These are usually these are about 90 grains, I believe, 85 to 90 grains. Then you have my reloads. I pack these quite hot. These are 9mm. They're made by, these are just regular hollow points. They're really not designed for self-defense, but these are hollow points by design. As you can see, once again, there is a hollow point, and they will mushroom out, just not as effectively as a self-defense round. These are longer penetrating, much like a full metal jacket. And but these are very hot rounds, so they actually get cooking along pretty good. These are of my own design. The bullet is purchased from Extreme Bullets, but the loading is of my own design. Then we have a critical defense round from Hornady. Now these are 124 grain. They move along very good. They are bonded, which means that the lead core is bonded to the copper jacketing on the outside. You can see there is a rubber piece on the inside there. That keeps cloth and material from getting down inside. So what happens is that rubber piece forces it to expand out, and then it becomes the hollow point, and it does whatever damage is required. These penetrate pretty well. And these, I would say, you would want to use when it's heavier weather and such. But these are some of my favorites. Then you have something like the Hornady XDT, which is a pretty large hollow point cavity. These are known to work very effectively. I believe these are also bonded bullets. And these expand very rapidly, do a wonderful job in expansion, and usually expand very uniformly. These are also pretty good. And once again, they're for different uses. So this one actually, you notice that has that open pocket. Well, those have been known to clog, which will happen is if you're shooting at a target that has a thick amount of fabric or some form of barrier to it, uh, the hollow point will clog and it will act like a full metal jacket and it'll just pass through without expanding. So be cautious what you pick. And then you've got, here is another version of the XDT. This is for the 45. And you'll see that's got some tearaways on the copper jacket on the outside. And that will help it expand a little bit faster. It kind of guides it where to expand. And you end up with this type, you end up with a little more uniform expansion. You also have, if you notice, in this one, you also have, and this would be a Corban. Corban is a lesser expensive brand. You'll see the hollow point isn't as deep, but it does have the points on the jacket where to guide it where to expand. And it's whatever you feel comfortable using. So if you feel comfortable using something like this for self-defense, feel free. Nobody's here to tell you that you can't do what you want to do. Just know the risks at using stuff like this. Then with my 40, I like to carry 3 different ones. These are critical defense, and you'll see it's got that same insert just like the 9mm had. I also carry the XDT in a separate magazine. And somebody had suggested this, and the reasons for doing it made a lot of sense. And I'll get to that in a minute. And then, of course, you have just standard ball ammo for barrier penetration. So the reason I would have 3 different magazines with 3 different loads, for something like this, it's a large handgun. It's not something you're going to be able to conceal carry as well. Now it's possible, but it's not going to be something that you do as well. Normally, how I would carry this is I would have it in a bag or in the car available to me in case I needed it. It would be loaded with an all-around type round, which would be this one. It's capable of some barrier penetration, but it does expand into a hollow point, or it is a hollow point, so it does do more damage. This is a good all-around round. However, if the situation calls for it, and I need something that expands faster, or expands well, I would go to the XDT. And then, of course, if required, I needed barrier penetration, then I would use something like the ball round, and that would get through the barrier. So that's the reason for it, and it's not something I would normally carry every day with me. This is something that I would have available in case I needed it in a situation, which it would be very rare, but say like a situation where I had to get my family out of an area and there was an active shooter. I would put this on and I would have the magazines and it'd be available for me. But in just everyday carry, I would probably carry either the 2 magazines if I had the space for them for the PT-111, or I would just carry the 1 magazine for the pocket pistol. Now, I used to carry the C9, but I don't carry it as often. But there's different other types of ammo that you could possibly go to. RIP makes one that not only franges off, but it has metal fingers that break off and shoot off in different directions. Very, very brutal stuff. And then the base of that ammo would just continue on through. Causes a severe amount of damage. There are so many different types of ammo. I'm always interested to see what people carry and people use and what their ideology behind it is. So if you have any ideas of a good ammo to carry, or you carry a specific ammo, go ahead and comment and tell me why. I'd love to hear it. Go ahead and like, share, subscribe. If this has all helped, go ahead and comment. Let me know, what you guys carry. And thanks for watching. This is Pagan Shooter.